Hello, students. How are you all? So, I am sure that you are doing very good. So, refresher 2. This is the video of refresher 2 of class 10 CBSE board. Fine. You have in my part 1, the refresher, I have covered some of the important points in live process and control and coordination. So in the life process part, you can add one or two more points, like in the digestion part, human digestion, stomach. In the stomach, you have to remember about the gastric glands or the walls of the stomach. So they are secreting pepsin, which is digesting the protein initially to peptides, and they are having HCl, which is making the medium acidic because pepsin can only work in acidic medium, and they are having HCl, which is also killing the invading pathogens along with the food, if any pathogens are there. HCl will kill them, and mucus is also there in the glands because mucus will protect the wall from the erosions because of the HCl. So this is about the importance of stomach in digestion, and complete digestion takes place in intestine, you all know, and absorption also because of the villi, which are increasing the surface area, and lacteals, which are absorbing the digested fat, that is fatty acids and glycerol. So this is the absorption and absorption part also. Then when we come to the transportation in plants and in animals. So transportation in plants, xylem phloem, you have to remember. Differences you have to remember. In xylem, all the tissues are dead except xylem parenchyma. Xylem tracheids, xylem vessel, xylem parenchyma, xylem fiber. So all the tissues are dead except xylem parenchyma. In phloem, all the tissues are living except except phloem fiber. So what are the tissues here? The sieve tubes, the companion cells, phloem parenchyma, phloem fiber. Xylem is moving unidirectionally, phloem is moving bidirectionally because xylem is carrying water mineral from root to shoot. Phloem is doing the translocation from the leaves to all parts of the plant in both the directions. So xylem phloem, you have to remember the salient features, okay? And about the blood, that is the other things which are being circulated is the blood and lymph in human. So about this also I have covered the important areas. Okay, so this is what is being circulated in animals and in human body, that is blood and lymph. So in blood vessels, you can just remember about the blood vessels, the differences between arteries and veins. Mainly, arteries are carrying oxygenated blood from heart to all parts of the body except pulmonary artery, and veins are carrying deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body to the heart. This is the basic difference. Okay, and the lumen is narrower in artery and wider in vein because in arteries blood is flowing under high pressure. Okay, because it's pumped to all body parts from the heart, and the veins are having wider lumen because the walls are thinner, right? And the valves are there in the veins, not in the arteries. In the veins, backflow is possible, so pockets of valves are there, right? So like this, you have to remember about the salient features between differences between arteries and veins, and then capillaries are the thinnest and the smallest vessels that we have. Okay, because these are allowing the exchanges, the transfers, exchange of oxygen, that is diffusion of oxygen from the alveoli to the blood is being allowed by the capillaries only. And they are allowing the diffusion of carbon dioxide from blood to the alveoli. This is also done by the capillaries. So how important they are. They are also transferring the hormones and other enzymes and other important substances from the blood to the cells and tissues. They are also carrying, these capillaries are allowing the conduction of excretory products or nitrogen waste to the kidneys. So this is the capillaries which is doing the final thing. So they are the most important blood vessels. Okay. Now this was about the transportation in plants and animals, and then in control and coordination, everything, all the important aspects I had covered, student, except the hormones in animals. So hormones are what? They are the chemical compounds. They are actually the messengers. They are communicating the essential functions. Communicating between all the organs of the organ system for complete coordination and control. Regarding the functions, regarding the the formation or breakdown of compounds, all these things are being communicated by these messengers, which are the hormones. Plants also hormones are there, which are called the phytohormones, but they are not very specific and they are not controlled. So leaves can be there on the entire tree. Okay, leaves can grow. Okay, so this kind of thing is there. The difference between plant hormones and animal hormones. But animal hormones, they are controlled. They are specific and controlled in a particular organ where they are, where the function is there. Function is needed. So, the formation of hormones, the production of hormones and their function and the place of function may differ. So these are the differences between plant hormones and animal hormones. But there are some important hormones which you have to always remember. Remember about the pituitary gland, which is the master gland, and is secreting the growth hormone, human growth hormone, which is very, very important. Otherwise, the growth will not be there. So the under secretion will cause dwarfism, and over secretion will cause gigantism. And the other important hormones secreted by pituitary are follicle stimulating hormone, your luteinizing hormone, your thyroid stimulating hormone, the gonadotropic hormones. So like this, many important hormones are there secreted by pituitary gland. And then you remember about the thyroid gland, which secretes thyroxine. Thyroxine is the hormone which is controlling the basic metabolic rates of all our metabolic processes. Okay, and that is called BMR. And this deficiency of thyroxine, the hormone secreted by thyroid gland, is thyroxine, which is made of iodine. So iodine deficient regions will have more disorders because of the under secretion, which is known as goiter. Okay, and then over secretion also causes disorders, which are eyes become very red. Okay, and eyeballs are protruded. So this is the condition because of hypersecretion of thyroxine. So both the conditions, they are detrimental. Okay, hypo and hyper. So these things, if you remember, it will always help you. And after thyroxine, then you go down to pancreas. A part of pancreas is endocrine also in function. Major portion is exocrine, which is secreting all the pancreatic hormones, helping in digestion, violent digestion. But the small part, which is the islets of Langerhans, is producing what is the hormone insulin. So insulin is important for conversion of glucose into glycogen to store. If the insulin is not being produced adequately, then what will happen? Excess of sugar will be there in the blood, and so the condition is called diabetes mellitus, right? And the other hormone which is secreted by this region is glucagon, which again is responsible for the conversion of glycogen into glucose wherever there is a need. So this is about the endocrine function of the pancreas, and then we go down to adrenal gland. Adrenal is the top at the top of both the kidneys. So adrenal cortex is there, adrenal medulla is there. So adrenal medulla is secreting what? It is secreting the hormone which is called the adrenaline, and it is actually important for the fight and flight situation. That is a situation where you decide to fight or to fly or to run away. So these decisions are taken with the help of this hormone which is adrenaline. So this is secreted by the adrenal medulla, and the adrenal cortex is secreting the glucocorticoid hormones. Okay, so the cortisons. Okay, so these are the important for the metabolism of all these nutrients, fat, proteins, and carbohydrates. Okay, so mineralocorticoid and glucocorticoid. These two types of hormones are secreted by the adrenal cortex. So mineralocorticoid for minerals and glucocorticoid for glucose and proteins and fats. So these are also very important, students, you have to remember. And then you come to the gonads. In the male, that is the testes, which is secreting testosterone, the male hormone. And in the female, it is the ovaries, which is secreting the the corpus luteum is secreting the hormone estrogen and progesterone, which is the female hormone. In the testes, there is in the male there is a cell which is the cells of Leydig, which is secreting the hormone testosterone. So these things you have to some important hormones you have to always remember, students. And about the reproduction part, the chapter 8, that is how do organisms reproduce. You have studied a lot about this, students. Only thing you remember that the male reproductive organ is testes, and the testes, the cells of Leydig is there, which is which is forming the the testosterone, the hormone. Okay, and the other cells which are producing the male gamete. Okay, the other cells are producing the male gamete, which is called the sperm. So this has to be released, and the duct which is carrying the sperm is the vas deferens, and it has to be released in a pathway. Okay, so that these these vasa deferens, when it is coming to the urethra, to finally to be released to the female reproductive tract. So there, this is the pathway of the male reproductive system, and just below the bladder, when it is the vas deferens is turning and coming to join the urethra, the common passage, okay, of urine and also of the male gamete, that is sperms. So there some glands are there, accessory glands are there, the the seminal vesicles and the prostate glands, which are pouring nourishment to the sperms and making them in a liquid state, that is semen, which is called the semen. So these are the accessory glands which are responsible for this. So this is about the tract, okay, in the sexual reproduction part. of in man. And in in plants, sexual reproduction, that is the male part and the female part. You have to remember, the salient features. And in plants, when you talk about reproduction, there is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction again. So asexual reproduction is meaning these reproduction by cell division only. So only single parent is needed. You have to remember these things. You have to remember some of the types. The diagrams are given. You have to identify which mode is this. It can be binary fission, it can be multiple fission, it can be budding, it can be your fragmentation and also regeneration and vegetative propagation. Okay, so these are the, and some examples will be given. You have to identify them, like regeneration is very common in plant area. So plant these steps, this diagram can be there. You have to identify and label it. Your budding can be in hydra. So you have to remember these diagrams, students. Okay, and spore formation is also a mode which takes place in fungi, right? Tissue culture is the latest mode of vegetative propagation, where tissue is cultured from the choiceable plant, and the callus is formed, which is again cultured in a suitable medium, and then seedlings are formed, which are transferred to a bigger space for for the cultivation. So this is disease free. This is a very advanced process of vegetative reproduction. Using tissue culture, many plants can be grown from one parent in disease-free conditions. So these are the salient features which you have to remember. And sexual reproduction in plants, you have to remember one thing, student, that it is a double fertilization. First it is pollination, then it is fertilization. Pollination, you all know what is pollination, what is self-pollination, what is cross-pollination. When the flower is bisexual, then it will be self-pollination, the transfer of pollen grains to stigma in the same flower. When it is unisexual flower, so that has to be a different flower but of the same species. The species has to be same. There has to be some pollinating agent. So after pollination, the fertilization starts. From the pollen grain, a pollen tube will develop, and the pollen tube will carry the male, the sperm nucleus. Okay, the nucleus will divide into two, and it will enter through the micropyle into the ovule, and this sperm nucleus will divide into two, and one nucleus will fuse with the egg at the base of the embryo, and will form the zygote, and the other nucleus of the sperm nucleus will fuse with the polar nuclei, the two polar nuclei, and there will be three fusions and two fertilization. One at the base with the egg cell and the other with the two polar nuclei. Okay, so these polar nuclei are the division of the nucleus of the endosperm, which make the body of the fruit. So there three fusions have taken place and the fertilization is only two. So there is a diagram there in your book, NCERT book 8.8. You have to just identify this diagram, and labels can be there. Labeling has to be done sometimes, or is there, you have to identify. So male reproductive part and female reproductive part you are already aware of. Okay, so I think I will go to the heredity and evolution chapter. Heredity and evolution, important parts. I just want to revise that the heredity and evolution. So in heredity only, I will talk about some important points. That heredity means what? Heredity is the transfer of similar characters from parents to offspring, and also the variations, from the parents. Otherwise, everybody will look similar. No, every organism will look similar or identical. So that is not feasible. So what happens is there is always some variation. So both the things are there in the heredity. So why we, human beings look similar? Maybe the habitat is different. Maybe one corner of the world or another corner of the world, but the human beings look similar. Maybe in one region they are more similar, in other region they are less similar, but human characteristics features are same. So this is because the similar characters are being transferred from the parents to the offspring. Okay, but again they are not identical. They are similar but not identical because some variations have taken place. Okay, so this is because of the some error in the DNA duplication. It is not exact, but DNA duplication is there, has to be there whenever the cell divides. So that is causing a variation, and also some sudden changes in the gene. So sudden mutation also cause drastic changes. So this is because of the various changes which take place in variation. Okay. Now, the father of the science which deals how these changes are taking place, how these similar characters are being transferred generation after generation. What is the law behind? There must be some law behind these changes which are taking place. Okay, generation after generation of a species. So this work was done by Gregor Mendel, which is known as the, and this science is known as the genetics, and father of genetics is known to be Gregor Mendel. Actually, Mendel's laws are there. You have to remember the laws. He actually observed the changes of colors and different features among plants. He selected pea plant because pea plants are bisexual. They are available in plenty, and they have a short lifespan, only one season. So it was easy for him to study the changes in the pea plants. So over the years, he studied how this change in color is taking place, a change in height is taking place, or change in. He took actually about 7 characters, where he contrasting characters. He went in which he actually observed the changes. Then he, after his thorough work over the years, he found that he propounded 3 laws. That is, law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. Okay, so when he found the first law, that is law of dominance, that when two contrasting characters are crossed, then what will happen? In F1 generation, the one character will dominate over the other, though all will be hybrid because cross fertilization is there. So in each individual, both the genes will be there of the contrasting characters, but one will appear and the other will be hidden. So this character which is appearing is the dominant character, and that is why it is the law of dominance. And the other character which is hidden is the recessive character. Okay, if he has taken the colors red and white, so in the F1 generation, if all the 4 flowers are red, that means red is dominant over white. Though all the flowers are containing both the genes, red and white, but red is appearing, that is red character, the red trait is dominant. So he said that any feature like color is the character and the type of color is the trait. The red or white is the trait. So here red is dominant. But he again said that in F2 generation, what happens is the hidden color, the recessive color will segregate, will get separated in the ratio of 3:1. Okay, So if the 3 is dominant color, that is red, 1 will be white, that is the recessive which has appeared in the F2 generation. So this is the law of segregation, where the recessive character is segregating, right, in the ratio of 3 is to 1. This is the phenotype ratio which we are able to see physically. Phenotype means which is seeing in appearance, which is appearing. Okay, and genotype is the genetic constitution of the offspring. So genetically it will be 1 is to 2 is to 1, the ratio, and phenotype it will be, phenotype will be your 3 is to 1, right? So this is the phenotype ratio and the genotype ratio. In the law of segregation. Law of dominance is the first law of segregation the second law. And the third law is law of independent assortment. Here you remember that if it is a dihybrid cross, the first and second law is in monohybrid cross, and the third law is regarding the dihybrid cross, where two contrasting characters have been taken, like wrinkle green or round yellow. Wrinkle green or round yellow. Wrinkle is the seed, shape of the seed, and color of the seed is yellow, and round is also the shape, and green is the round yellow or wrinkle green. Round yellow means yellow is the color. So here, if the cross is being done, then the what will be the result? All the characters will appear in the offsprings, irrespective of the characters in each pair. That means all these characters will appear in the progeny in the ratio of 9 is to 3, 3 is to 3 is to 1. So there will be 4 offsprings, then it will be in the ratio of 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. But all these characters will be there in each pair. Okay. So like this, there's an experiment also. So you have to just identify and make the and also define the laws. And about the sex determination, you have to study. You all know that how sex is determined. You know, the father's sex chromosome is X and Y, and the mother's sex chromosome is XX. Okay, so the mother's is always XX. A pair of genes will be there. So if the X of father combines with the X of mother, then it will be XX, that is daughter. And if the Y of father combines with X of mother, in both the cases, the mother it will be X only. But from the father it can be X and it can also be Y. So if the X combines with X of mother, it is XX, that is daughter. And if the Y combines with X of mother, Y of father combines with X of mother, then it will be XY, that is a boy. So this is how the sex is determined. It depends on the father, not on the mother, because the sex chromosomes of the mother is always XX, but in the father it can be X, it can be Y also. So it is XY, right? So this is the basic principle of sex determination. And then evolution, I think you can just go through if evolution is there in your syllabus this time. So just go through the important points of evolution. Okay. Right. I leave this chapter evolution because this is to study and remember the important points of evolution only. If it is important, but I'm not sure it is being included this time or not. Evolution. If it is there, please have a look and remember these hidden features. But heredity is very important, that I can assure you. Okay. So I think I have covered almost all the important aspects. One part in the reproductive system, one point is there, which comes sometimes. What happens when the egg is not fertilized? See, always the egg will be fertilized in the sexual reproduction in human. It is not, most of the time it is not fertilized. Okay. So what happens in the female? If before the fertilization, what is happening in the menstruation? What is happening in the first menstrual phase? The uterine wall, which has prepared to receive the zygote, since fertilization has not taken place, so the hormones, estrogen and progesterone level will also go down drastically, and these walls, the thick wall of the endometrium, the endometrial wall will start shedding off in the form of blood and mucus, which is the menstrual phase, right? Now, the fertilization has not taken place, so this menstrual phase will start. The another cycle, menstruation cycle will start, which will start with the menstrual phase, and then the follicular phase will start. Again, the levels of estrogen and progesterone will start increasing, and the follicles of the ovaries will start maturing. One Graafian follicle will have a mature egg and will release the egg, and rest of the Graafian follicle will become corpus luteum, which will release the hormone, that is the estrogen progesterone. So the egg, when is released, will be released, and this is called the ovulation phase, which is the 13th day or 14th day, and then the luteinizing stage will start, and it will go up to the 28 days. So this cycle is of 28 days, and if fertilization is taking place, then this egg will be fertilized with the male gamete, that is sperm from the male, and zygote will be formed. If the fertilization has not taken place, then again the hormones the hormones of estrogen and progesterone will go down, and this endometrium, which was prepared to receive the zygote, will start shedding off. So again this cycle will start with this menstrual phase, and this will be repeated. If there is a fertilization, then the zygote will be implanted on the uterine wall, and the development of embryo will be there, which will develop into a fetus, and then a baby will be born. So this is the cycle I've talked about. If the question comes, what will happen if egg is not fertilized, and you can write in short whatever I just now said. About reproductive health also, all these precautions have to be taken, because in a motherhood there are a lot of changes in the body. So whether there is a right age or not, whether the health of the mother is sound or not, whether the mother is physically, mentally prepared for childbearing. So these things have to be taken, and it has to be seen that hygiene is being maintained. Okay, so these are all reproductive health issues. The sexual act always has to be has the potential to lead to the pregnancy. Okay, the pregnancy will make major demands on the body. So this has to be seen that where always the chances of pregnancy, if it is there, then it will have a very heavy bearing on the health of the mother. So frequent pregnancies also have to be avoided. There has to be a definite plan for the family, for expanding the family. So these things you have to take care of. And there are birth control devices which is being promoted very readily nowadays. So those birth control methods have to be adopted so that frequent pregnancies are not there. Lot of changes, physical and mental, takes place whenever there is a pregnancy. So this has to be planned very, very carefully. So this is all about reproductive health, students, and I think I have covered all the important aspects of your syllabus. So I am closing my video here of the refresher, and thank you so much for patient listening. And if you are liking my videos, please subscribe to my channel and stay blessed. I wish you very best for your exams. I am sure you will all do good. Thank you. God bless you all.